This is the last in a series of videos that will walk you through how to create and use an AutoCAD sheet set. This video will contain an overview of the capabilities of your new sheet set and the ways it can benefit you. Basically, a sheet set is an organized and named collection of sheets from several drawing files. It's very helpful for organizing large projects because it keeps track of your drawing files and allows multiple users to access a project and make modifications. It also simplifies your title block updates by making multiple changes across multiple sheets all at the same time and accessible from one location. I'll first open an existing project to help explain the interface. The Sheet List tab lists all of the sheets and helps you organize them in categories, as well as allowing you to set the properties for each category. You can rename and renumber sheets from this interface. The Sheet Views tab contains a listing of each sheet and each view that exists on that sheet. You can't rename or renumber sheets on this page, but you can rename and renumber each view that has been inserted using Sheet Set Manager onto these pages. The Model Views tab contains a listing of locations that all of your base sheets and microvellum drawings should be located. You'll have to add these locations so that you can reference them later. Now let's get back to the brand new project that we created at the end of the previous video. We're going to create a new sheet. Now you don't want to type in a sheet number at this time because it would get appended to the front of the file name. So skip that step for now and type in a sheet title. It'll automatically open that sheet and allow you to make any changes or edits to it. You'll notice in the title block that we get in the name of the project number, and that sheet title that you just typed in is automatically inserted through fields. The sheet number doesn't exist because we did not create a sheet number yet, but if you go into the interface, right-click and rename your number, you can type in a sheet number. When you regen, RE, it'll add that sheet number. In order to add content to this screen, we'll have to go to the Model tab and add a new location. This is going to be the location for your drawing files that already contain all of your drafted information. So in this case, the factory database folder for that job. I'm going to select that drawing that contains the drawings and select a view. I'll show you how to create a view in just a second, but this is how you insert one. At this point, you can change the scale or insert it at the scale at which you created it. I'm going to change the layer to viewports, do all of the normal drafting steps. This is a dynamic elevation block that I've created. And if you watch the first video, you see how to create that. And now you can name and number those views by right-clicking on the view. Rename and renumber. Give that a number 1, regen, and now it has a number 1. And now I want to put the block on the correct layer as well. And ready to move on. Next, I'm going to add a cover sheet by going back to the sheet list, right-click, add new sheet. I'm going to skip the numbering step and just call this cover sheet. And insert it. Okay. You can drag and drop those to reorder them. The only thing I need on this sheet is text for the project name. Make that a little bit bigger. There we go. And something else that SheetSet can add to this page is a sheet list. You just select your project, right-click, and say Insert Sheet List Table. All those settings are good to me, so I'm going to drop it in. It now has a list of sheets as well as their sheet numbers. Now I accidentally included the cover sheet, so I'm going to right click and edit the sheet list table settings, subsets, and uncheck cover sheet, and then I'll remove it from the list. As you continue, I'll add sheets, and this list will automatically update to include those new sheets. For now, just renumber the cover sheet to C-01 and region C-01. Okay. Now let's create an elevation page, because I have a few elevations but nowhere to put them. So go back to the sheet list table, right click, new sheet, skip the number, type in first elevation. Now I have an elevation page. I can go to my model views, drag and drop in elevations. And this one's a bit big, so I'm going to right click to change the scale to something a bit smaller, 3/8. That looks good. Now because I'm using annotative drawings and annotative text on this drawing, the only thing that will show is text on 3/8 scale. Now I'm going to do the same with another elevation, drop it beneath. There we go. And drop in a few sections as well. Sections come in automatically because I saved them at 1.5 inch or half-inch scale, but I'm going to change that to something a little bigger by right-clicking and changing that. Drop in another. There we go. Right. It's looking a bit messy, so I'm going to clean this up and fast forward while I do that. Much better. Now I have all 4 of my views in a nice little layout. I'm going to go to Sheetset Manager, Sheet Views, open up that page, right click, rename and renumber, and number all of my elevation tags. So it will put them in alphabetical order by name, but once you've numbered or named them all with an elevation number name, then it'll reorganize them based on that. Okay, now that I have them all named, I'm going to go back to my plan view and put some callouts for them on my plan view. So I remember that the kitchen elevation was elevation A, so I'm going to place a callout block, the elevation callout. Drop that in there. I have a dynamic block, so I can rotate it and it will face that way. And I don't seem to have given it a page number, so I'm going to rename, give that page number. A11 sounds good. And regen, and A11 comes in. So next up, add another elevation callout for the south elevation. Face that the right way. Good. Kitchen section. That's going to be a section callout. Drag that, drop it in. And I put a dynamic reverse on that so I can rearrange that. And a stretch command as well. So these are all dynamic block commands. And if you watch the video on dynamic blocks, you can create these yourself, or just use the ones that I've included. So flip, rotate. There you go. And there you go. Looks good. Alright. Got some good callouts now. Alright. So now I'm going to show you how to create one of these views on that drawing. So I'm going to open up that drawing. You can do this while you're drafting or afterward, doesn't matter. The view is automatically going to use my current annotation scale, so I'm going to use 1/2 inch And then if I need to change it later, I can, as I've showed you, but just type in the view command and it'll create the view on that scale, whatever you currently have selected. So click New Scale and type in the name of the elevation. I'm just going to have a new view and define a window for it. I'm going to do a detail of this interaction with the countertop because that can be confusing. So let's create a detail for that. And if you want to rename it at this point, it's a good idea. This name is going to automatically come in with your elevation view. You can change it at that point after it's come in, but if you type them in the way that you're going to need them, that's one less step later. Okay, that's all I have to do with this drawing. You can save it or save and close it, and then come back to your sheet set and it will update that page. So now I can create a new page. And my section views. And it's going to be my detail page. Okay, create a new sheet. Now I can go to my model views, and if your new view does not show up in this interface, it's likely because you didn't save the drawing, just as an FYI. Now that scale, I saved it a 1/2 inch scale, but it's a detail, so I'm going to bump it up to something bigger. That's too big. 3, that's still too big, so 1.5. Drop that in. And okay. Alright, let's make that look nice, put it on the correct layer. Now you notice the scale number isn't correct. It's coming in a 1/8, 1:8 ratio scale. So there is a way to fix that. That's a problem with the scale list. So you can edit the scale list and remove 1/8, but you're going to want to do that in your template. So for now, you can use custom and edit the scale list because it's just pulling in the first one it finds. So I know that it's 1.5. So I'm going to move that 1.5 to the top, and then it'll come in as 1.5 instead of 1/8. Because it's just looking at the drawing units versus the paper units and finding the scale that matches that, which they happen to be the same. Okay, now I'm going to title this as Elevation A. Okay, give this sheet a number. Going back to my tabs, sheet list. Right click on details, name a number. 850. Okay, go back to my page listing, back to my plan view. Draw a rectangle with some filleted edges to indicate the area. Fillet those edges 0.065. Okay, round them out. Change the line type. Dashed. Okay, now I can drop in one of my callout blocks. You have to select the elevation that you want to drop it in for, and then you can drop it in. So now it's linked to A on page A50. Stretch that out. Okay, good. Looks good. We got a nice plan view now. Now that we have a few more pages, I'm going to go back to that cover sheet and select the sheet list. Right-click, Update Table Data Links. That automatically updates it, puts in all the page numbers and page names. And it looks like I have to give this an uppercase. There we go. And select it again and Update Table Data Links. And it fixes it. There you go. Anywhere that shows up, it will fix that everywhere, which is the beauty of Sheetset Manager. Another beautiful feature is the ability to create your finished products. If you go to publish this document, it will combine all of your pages and you can create a PDF out of them. So we'll go ahead and gather up all those pages, create a PDF, pick a location for it to save, and publish. We publish each page as shown. It popped up on my other screen, so I'm going to bring that over and show you a very useful feature of having used SheetSet Manager. All of those fields that link to page numbers are clickable hyperlinks that will take you to those sheets, including all of my elevation callouts, all of my section callouts. If you click on the elevation letter, it will take you to that elevation. If you click on the page number, it will take you to that page. You click on the name of the page, anything, it'll take you to that page that you're looking for. It's a very easy way to double check your callouts, and it's convenient for your end user. That's all great for the PDFs, but there's another useful feature for if you want to export your entire drawing set and all associated files with this sheet set. That's called a transmittal. So right-click on your sheet set and say eTransmit. You can set up different transmittal templates so that you can send these out more quickly, but useful to keep in mind that you have to save all of your drawings before you can do this. So go ahead and save all, close, and let's try it again. Okay, you transmit, and the information. It'll allow you to select what pages you want to include, enter any notes. Okay. If you want to take this on the road, you are good to go. It'll include everything from fonts to your base sheets, anything that's preferenced as an XREF, as a field, anything. And it'll create a zip file. Ask you where you want to save it. So that's all for using SheetSet Manager, but I'm going to include all necessary files for you to create your own sheet sets. I'll give you a template, I'll give you the callout blocks, and I'm going to include this transmittal that I've just created so that you can play around with it before you decide whether or not you want to use it. Thank you for watching.